Let's start. Today we are talking about lesson 4, which is solving radical equations. In this lesson, we will learn how can we solve equations containing radicals and how can we identify the extraneous x solution. Now let's learn how can we solve the equations that contain radicals. By now, all of us talk about the quadratic equation, linear equation. How can we solve them? Today, we are talking about the radical equation. Radical equation, like mean, or why we name it with radical equation? Because if you have a variable, and since the variable is under the square root, so this type we name them with radical equation, like square root of x plus 5 equals 7. This is a radical equation. If you have x plus 5 equals 7, this is a linear equation. If you have an x squared plus 5 equals 7, this is a quadratic equation. Why we say it's linear? Because the degree of the variable here is 1, so it's linear. Since the degree of the variable here is squared, it is quadratic. But here we have the degree of it is half, or we can say it is an radical. That's why we name them with radical equation. And we name them with equation. We know why, because if you have an equal sign, so this is an equation. So an x square root of x plus 5 is 7. This is a radical equation. How can we solve it now? The first way, or the first step, sorry. If you have like square root of 7 minus 5 equals 3. For this one here, first you have to write the square root of the radical variable by itself. You have to write it inside and the other numbers on the other side. So the first step, you have to get the radical by itself. How? By removing the 5 to put them on the other side. After I removed the 5, what did we have? We have a square root of x, and then 3 plus 5 is 8. Then after that, what did we have now? Square root of x is 8, but I don't want square root of x, I want 8. So what we have to do, the second step, we have to square both sides. So the first step, you have to keep or to get the radical by itself. The second step, you have to square the both sides. This is the first step, and the second step, you have to square the both sides. Square the both sides, that means you have to square the first side and the second side. Now, what is the square root of x squared? Yes?
It's x because
it is x. Bravo. And 8 squared. Sorry?
Teacher, why you squared?
Here we have square root of x equal 8. But I didn't want square root of x. If you have an equation, you have to solve it. What's the meaning by solving an equation? Give me the value of x. But here is not x, this is square root of x. But I want x.
Okay.
So I will square the both terms now. Or both sides. So x and 8 squared is what?
64.
64, exactly. So because of that, the answer is x equal 64. On this way now, I solved the equation. Is it clear? Let's solve more examples today. Now, sometimes if you have like square root of x minus 5, all of them under the square root, this is also, we call them an radical equation. We have a variable under the square root or a variable with a number like x minus 5, like this. This will be also an radical equation. We'll talk about it later on. Yeah, let's solve now examples by where we call it isolating, by isolating the radicals. Let's say now here we have square root of 7 of square root of x plus 7 equals 16. This one here, as we said, we have to isolate the radicals, or we can get the radical in a term and the other numbers on the other term. I want to keep the square root of x alone. How? Here, the square root of x is added to 7. So what is the opposite of addition?
Subtraction.
Subtraction. So we say it's -7, -7. Then we have square root of x equals 16 minus 7.
It will equal
9. 9, exactly. Then after that here, this is the first step. We isolate the radical. The second step, I want to solve it. But here, as you see, we have square root of x equal 9. I don't want square root of x, I want x only. So what I have to do?
Square.
Square the both terms. Then square cancel the square root. So what did we have?
X.
We have x equal 9 squared.
81.
81. So the solution here is 81. Let's now check our solution. Check is it correct or no? What we have to do? We have to evaluate here. Here we have the square root of 7 of x plus 7 equals 16. What is x? It's 81. So square root of 81 plus 7. Is it equal 16? Let's see. What is the square root of 81?
9.
Plus 7.
16.
7 equals 16.
16. So yes, 16 equals 16. So this is a correct solution. Is it clear? Got it, the idea now? Did you get the idea?
Yes, teacher.
Okay.
Yes, teacher.
Let's solve now another example here. Square root of x minus 5 equal -2. What we have to do at the first step here?
Add 5 to each side.
Exactly. Here you have to isolate the radical. This radical is radical subtracted 5 or -5. So you have to add 5 to the both of the sides here. Then after that, since it's cancel each other, square root of x equals -2 plus 5 is
3.
3. Then after that here, let's square the first term and square the second term. As we said, because I want x only. Then
It will be x equal 9.
it will be x equal 3 squared is 9. Bravo. Now let's see our answer. Square root of x minus 5 is negative 2. Let's check if you have a correct answer or correct solution or no. Let's evaluate with the square root of 9 minus 5 equals negative 2. Now what is the square root of 9?
3.
3. Is it 3 minus 5 equals negative 2?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So this is a correct answer. Or correct. This is the correct answer. Do you have any question here?
No, thank you, teacher. No,
No.
teacher.
No.
Let's do now another example here.
No, miss.
Let's do now number 13.
Teacher, the final answer of get it 1 is x equal 9, right? Because I
Yes.
forget.
Now let's do now number 11 first. Square root of 2b plus 4 equals 8. We have to isolate the radical. Minus 4 minus 4. Then square root of 2b equals 8 minus 4 is
4.
4. Exactly. I don't want square root of 2b. I want only 2b. So what I have to do?
Square it.
Square the number.
Square the two terms. Yes. So we have square root of 2b squared equals 4 squared. Then square root cancel the square. So what do we have to do here? Or what we have to write?
2b equals
2b
16.
only equals 4 squared
16.
16. But what did we see here? Do we have 2b or b?
2b.
2b. I want only b.
Divide
So what
by
I have to
Divide by
do?
2.
Divide by 2.
Yes, since b is multiplied by 2, so I have to divide by 2. So we have to say that b equals 8.
Equals 8.
This is now a solution. Is it clear?
Yes, teacher. Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
miss.
teacher.
Teacher, can we do number 13?
Yeah, I will solve number 13 and 15 now. Now in number 13, we have square root of 3a plus 1 equals 7. Now look at here. Here, as you see, the radical variable is on a side, and the number is on the other side. I cannot cancel one or remove one to the other side. Why? Because one is included under the square root. Okay? Is it clear? Here, the square root is already in a side, and the number is on the other side. It is already. No need to isolate it. It's already isolated. So what I have to do then?
Teacher, if I distribute the square root on 3a and on
No,
1.
this is false. Wait. هلا فرح said if you can say like this. This is false. The square root cannot be distributed if they are added or subtracted. It is only distributed if it is multiplied or divided. I mean, if you have 3a
Just square the whole square root.
times 1, you can say it's 3a times the square root of 1.
Teacher, can I square them all?
Yeah, this is yeah. But let me continue here. If they are multiplied, you can distribute the square root. If they are divided, you can also distribute the square root. But if they can add it, I cannot distribute the square root. Okay? Now, let's come back here now. Here we have 3a plus 1 equals 7. I want to find the variable only. I don't want the square root. So how can I cancel it?
Square it.
Square it.
Square it, exactly. So let's now square the first term and the second term. If you square now the first term, what did we have?
3a plus 1.
3a plus 1.
Look here. Here, the 2 of the square, it's come. When it's come, it cancels the square root. That's the meaning of canceling the square root. When it's come, it cancels the square root. So we have 3a plus 1 equals 7 squared. What is 7 squared?
49.
49.
49. Look at this one here now. We have 3a plus 1. It's come like linear equation. I don't want 3a plus 1. I want only a. So what is the first step?
We will subtract 1 from the both sides.
Exactly. We have to subtract 1 from the both sides. So we have 3a equals 48. I didn't finish. I have 3a. I want only a. So what I have to do?
Divide by 3.
Divided by 3.
Divide by 3.
Divide by 3.
Divide by 3.
Divide by 3. So a now is 48 over 3.
16.
60.
16.
So this is now the final answer. Is it clear?
Yes,
Yes.
teacher.
Yes, teacher.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's solve now number 15. In number 15 here, 1 equals square root of negative 2v minus 3. Look at this one here. What did we have? We have a square root on the side, a radical variable on the side, and a number on the other side. So it's ready. No need to isolate it. It's already isolated. So what is the second step?
Square root of the radical and the number.
Exactly. Square root the both terms. Then 1 squared is
1.
1.
1.
And here, as I told you, the square root, it's come like Superman, it cancels the square. So I have only negative 2v minus 3. Then
We have to plus 3 for the both sides.
exactly, thank you, Basma. You have to add 3 to the both sides. So 3 plus 1 is 4 equals negative 2v.
Divide by negative 2.
Divide by negative 2. Divide by negative 2. So what's the value of v here?
Negative 2.
V equals
negative
negative 2.
Negative 2. Thank you. So, okay, now, do you have any question here?
No.
No,
So,
thanks.
2 steps. The first step, you have to isolate the radical equation or the radical variable. Then you have to square the both terms. This is the 2 steps here. Here now, as we see, we square the one of the sides. Sorry, I mean that we have a radical expression on one side and the number on the other side. In this example here, we have two radical expressions in both sides. I will repeat here, as you see, we have a radical sign, a radical expression on a side and a number on the other side. Like here, you have square root of x plus 3 equals 5. The radical is a side, and the other side here we have a number. But here, no. Here we have a radical expression on the right and the radical expression on the left. So, like 5t minus 11 equals t plus 5. To solve this type of equation, where we have the radical expressions on the both sides, we have the first step to cancel the square root. How you cancel the square root?
By
To
squaring
square it.
Squared the two terms. And since you square, it's like the balance. Since you square the left term, you have to square the right term. Then after that, the square root, it comes like Superman, as I told you. It's cancel the square. So what did we have here?
5t minus 11.
5t minus 11.
5t minus 11 alone. In the second term, we have the
T
same.
plus 5.
T plus 5. Then after that, it comes like linear equation. I want now to isolate the variable in a term and the numbers on the other term. Let's now cancel the 11. Here we have 5t minus 11. So the 5t, or it is subtracted from 11.
It's going to be plus 11 plus 11.
Yes, so we have to add 11 to the both terms. After that, 5t
5t
is t
equal
plus
T
16.
plus 16.
t plus 16.
Okay, here I want to isolate a variable on a side and the other on the other side. So what we
We
have
will
to do
take
here
t.
now? We have to
Minus
put
t. Minus t
move the
minus t.
to the other side. Minus t minus t.
Minus t.
Equal 4t.
So after that here, 5t minus t, we have 4t equals
16.
60.
Divide by 4. Divide by 4.
Exactly.
4 divided by 4.
Exactly. I don't want 40, I want t only. So I say now t is 4.
T equal 4.
Is it clear?
Yes,
Yes.
teacher.
Yes, teacher. Yes, teacher.
Yeah, let's do now these examples here.
Teacher, we will not take got it too.
No, it's words. It's not important. I want now to focus only on the basics idea.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Miss, I have a question.
Yes, Huda.
For the test, how many lessons we have?
Inshallah 5. I don't know when the quiz it will be. It's in this in 5. I
No,
think it
teacher,
will be
she
this
made the
one.
quiz of today.
For today it's 2 lessons.
Teacher, was it written in the plan?
No. It's for here. I told you about it yesterday.
Teacher,
Okay.
it have marks?
Yes.
Okay.
Can we use the calculator?
No.
Okay.
And all of the questions are the same. So you want to show me your steps. Yeah, let's continue.
Teacher, how will we show you our steps?
I mean, when you
Teacher, can I
when you solve
only
the
like
question, write the steps. Don't try the final answer.
Okay.
Teacher, can I write the final answer and send you my work on the WhatsApp?
Yes,
Or
okay.
it should be okay. Thank
Okay,
you.
teacher.
Yeah,
Me
yeah, let's
too.
continue here now. What is the solution of square root of 7x minus 4 equals square root of 5x plus 10? As we said, the first step, you have to square the right and the left, the both sides. Then the square, it cancels the square root. So we have only 7x minus 4. And here it cancels the square root. So I have only 5x plus 10. So 7x minus 4 equals 5x plus 10. Then it's come like linear equation here. Yeah.
We will minus subtract 5x from 8.
Plus 4 plus 4
This is the first step. Bravo.
equals 7x
So
equals 15.
7x equals 5x plus 14. Then minus 5x minus 5x. I want to put
Equals
the
2x.
variable on the side. So
2x
we
plus
say that
equals
it is
14.
2x equals 14. I want only x. So what I have to do now,
Divide by 2.
Divide by 2.
Divide by
Equals 7.
So x is now 7. Is it clear?
Yes, teacher, can you not erase for a minute?
I'm waiting you, yeah.
I finished, teacher. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's do now. Now I have 4 minutes left. So let's do which one I want you to solve. You want me to solve? Yeah.
Teacher, let's solve 20. Oh yeah, 23.
Which one? Yeah, tell me.
23.
23.
23. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Number 23. Square root of n plus 5 equals square root of 5n minus 11. Yeah, what we have to do at the first step?
Remove the square.
Divide by 2.
Remove the square.
Then square, cancel the square root. So what did we have?
N plus
5.
N plus 5.
5 equal 5n minus 11.
Bravo. 5n minus 11. Then after that,
we will subtract 5 from the both
Subtract
sides.
5 from here.
From the other side.
so we have n is
N
5
equals 5.
n minus 11. Minus 5 is minus
Negative 16.
negative 16. Bravo. Then minus. Here I have n is 5 n minus 16. Let's write it here.
5n minus n.
n equals 5n minus 16. I want only a variable on the side and the numbers on the other side. So let's isolate.
5n minus 5n.
And from n minus 5n.
Bravo. Then what's the answer? N. Yahuda. N minus 5n.
Negative.
Negative 4. N. Bravo.
N
Equals
minus
16. Then what you have to do, Huda?
We will divide from here -4 and from 16 -4.
Bravo. Thank you. So n is 16 over 4.
So
Four.
-4.
Thank you so much.
+4.
Thank you so much, Huda. Is it clear?
Yes,
Yes.
Do you have any question?
No, thank you.
No, miss.
Okay. I will start.